Stormy, what are you doing? Ah, you're stabbing me. Ah, Stormy. Hey everyone, it's Nicole and Stormy. Welcome to my channel.
So keep me in your sight, 'cause I can do this all night.
If you are new around here, hi, I am Nicole. It is nice to meet you. Thank you for clicking on this video. Do consider hitting that subscribe button if you enjoy nail polish related content. I upload new videos every single week featuring both indie, mainstream, as well as boutique nail polish brands. If you are in fact a returning subscriber, welcome back. How are you doing? Hope everyone's having a fantastic week. Today I have the honor of sharing with you all the 5th annual breast cancer awareness box for 2022.
Oh my God!
This box is hosted by Christy from Hearts and Promises Lacquer. So if you are new to this box, each year Christy hosts this box. A portion of proceeds for all items sold will be going to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. All of the items are available both individually as well as in like just one big old box with everything in it. I will have all the sale information at the end of the video because I'm trying to keep this one short. Like, I know I add a whole bunch of extras, but I'm trying my best, y'all. As always, I will have links to where you can purchase everything, social media pages, my social media pages, as well as a link to my blog post where I host all of my swatch photos. On my blog post, I will also have links to every single individual maker's website and social media pages, as well as timestamps are also down in the description box as well. Let's just get into this video. First up, we have all Mixed Up Lacquers with Watch Me Kick It. The brand describes this one as a milky to fuchsia solar polish with gunmetal flakes, a mixture of white and bold pink glitters, as well as 2 different color shifting mermaid flakes. It has a cap of 150 bottles. Watch Me Kick had a really good formula. My bottle was on the thicker side, so I did need to add a little bit of thinner to it. I did speak to the brand owner, so the thickness shouldn't be an issue with customer bottles. The glitters and flakes in here all spread very evenly and easily. I did find texture very minimal. I chanced it and only used 1 thick coat of top coat, and that seemed to smooth it up pretty nicely for me. You might need to add an extra coat of top coat for personal wear though, because this one has like a lot of glitter and flakies in it. So if you are new to solar polishes, I do find that they have like a variety of colors depending on your light source. I'm showing you right now here in natural light, so you can kind of see this is all in real time. So you can see the polish changing color as I walk further into the sunlight. I do find that when you use like artificial lighting to show solar polishes, the polish does get significantly darker with like an artificial light than it does with natural sunlight. You'll get like a variety of colors. I love solar polishes. And here is a little gift that I made using artificial lighting to show the variety of colors that you get with solar polishes. Like, again, I love solar polishes. Removal on this one is going to be on the more difficult side. I do not suggest scrubbing this one off. Definitely use the soak off method or use a peel off base coat. And I swatched this one in 3 coats plus a glossy top coat. And now we have Anchor and Heart Lacquer with I Pink I Can. The brand describes this one as a neon pink base that leans red/coral in certain lighting, packed with a gold green shimmer as well as lime/gold shifting iridescent glitters in various sizes. This polish has no cap. I Pink I Can had a fantastic formula. This polish was so ridiculously difficult to try to get color accurate. Like, it's definitely like a bright neon pink, like pink as in pank, but it also has like a very interesting coral lean. I feel like for my swatch photos, it leaned a lot more to that reddish corally color. For the live swatch, it's definitely pulling very pink. It is somewhere in between, and I am so sorry, but these are so ridiculously hard to get color accurate. Like, just the lighting changes in my room were making me thinking it was 3 different colors. But like I said, fantastic formula. The glitters all spread very evenly and easily. I do think this one is going to be a 2 or 3 coater depending on your personal preference as well as nail length. Removal will be on the more difficult side. I would not recommend scrubbing this one off again. Soak off method or peel off base coat. Next up, we have Colores de Carol with Let's Fight Together. The brand describes this one as a bubblegum pink with a multi-chrome shimmer, mermaid flakes, as well as pink and fuchsia metallic shreds. This one has a cap of 100 bottles. Let's Fight Together had a fantastic formula. The base did not feel overly thick or thin and 0 application issues. This one has like a lot of flakies and shreds in it. I did find that the metallic shreds are kind of like those glitter shreds, so depending on how they lay on your nails, they might dry with some texture. I did find that I had a couple of nails where like they were poking up a little bit. I ended up pushing them down and then top coating, and that seemed to do a pretty good job at smoothing them out, but they will kind of poke up a bit. I also found that the more textured shreds, those ones do seem to sink a little bit in the bottle, so if you want to get a lot of them out on your nail, hold the bottle upside down. The shimmer in here paired really nicely with the base color. Like, I really like the shimmer flash paired with this one. So I swatched this one in 3 coats plus glossy top coat. Depending on how the shreds lay on your nails, you might want to go in for a second coat of top coat. Removal on this one is going to be on the more difficult side due to those metallic shreds. I would recommend, again, soaking it off or peel off base coat. Scrubbing, you're gonna rip up your cotton ball. And now we have Cupcake Polish with Stronger Than Cancer. The brand describes this one as a raspberry pink jelly polish filled with silver reflective glitter, as well as a touch of silver holographic glitter. This polish has no cap. Stronger Than Cancer had a really great jelly formula. I was very surprised at how, I'm gonna say thin, but I don't mean thin as in bad. I mean just, I expected this one to be a lot thicker due to just the amount of glitters that are in it, but it did not feel thick at all. However, this one does start off pretty sheer since it is a jelly, so you will want to build this one up to get the most opacity. I did find that I reached full opacity with 3 coats. If you do not mind obvious visible nail line, it is passable in 2 coats, but the 3rd coat does add opacity as well as deepening the base color. All of the glitters in here also give this polish a lot of texture. I ended up pairing this one with a glitter smoothing top coat before going in with my quick dry top coat, and that got it perfectly smooth for me. This polish is like next level sparkly. I really love reflective glitters paired with holographic glitters. Like out in the sunlight, you get like a double whammy of like sparkly goodness, and I, as a glitter lover, I am here for all of the sparkles. This polish will be very difficult to remove. I do not recommend scrubbing it off. I'm sure you can guess what I'm going to say next. And now we have Cuticula with Pink Ribbon. The brand describes this one as a baby pink crelly base with rose gold metallic flakes. This polish has no cap. Pink Ribbon had a really great crelly formula. It starts off a little bit sheer and uneven, but it does build up very nicely. And also, the unevenness is not that big of a surprise given how light the base color is on this one. This has like a very soft, delicate feel on the nail. The rose gold metallic flakes all spread out very evenly and easily without giving off any texture. These are really, really small, so they won't be overly difficult to remove either. Likely just a little bit messy though. I think with careful application and short nails, you might be good in 2 coats with this polish. But like if you go ham on it like I clearly did, or you have longer nails, this one will likely be a 3-coater just to cover up any nail line and also fix any uneven spots. I did have just a couple of light spots towards the clear part of my nail in 3 coats, but again, I kind of expect that with a color like this. This was one of those like unevenness that once you add top coat that like you couldn't really see them anymore. I don't know the science behind that, but I find that happens a lot with colors like this. I will say, while pinks this light are not generally my cup of tea, I really like the combination between the base and the rose gold flake, so nothing in here is going to dry down textured or be overly difficult to remove. Next up, we have Fair Maiden Polish with Unbreakable. The brand describes this one as a magenta polish with a blue-purple aurora shimmer. It has no cap. Unbreakable had a fantastic formula. It does start off a little bit sheer and a tiny bit uneven, but it does build up really nicely in 3 coats. In 3 coats, I did still have a little bit of visible nail line with this one, both on the clear part of my nail as well as on my natural nail. So I do think that transparency will translate over to natural nails. The shimmer in here is super, super strong and super, super glowy. If you tuned into my live stream last week, you would have seen me wearing this one, and it's just an absolute stunner. I kind of thought this one was going to be a stainer, so I did pair this one with a normal base coat, and I did not experience any staining. I would still recommend wearing base coat with this one just because it seems a little bit on the more pigmented side. So I swatched this one in 3 coats plus glossy top coat. I did still have a little bit of visible nail line both on the clear part of my nail as well as on my natural nail. But like this shimmer in this though, it's gorgeous. Can't be mad at visible nail line when I see shimmer that looks like this. Next up, we have Great Lakes Lacquer with Get Your Boobies Squished. The brand describes this one as a linear holographic with holographic microflakes, magenta blue flash, microflake, as well as iridescent flakes, as well as a soft linear holographic. This polish has no cap. Get Your Booby Squished had a fantastic formula. The flakies in here are like next level unreal. Like, if I had not seen this one in real life, I would have thought like the camera was playing tricks, because this was really, really beautiful. Like, it's very multi-dimensional, and it's really something really cool. All of the flakes in here dry down flat, so you will not have any texture. I could potentially see you might need a second coat of top coat, just because sometimes super flaky, dense polishes can be a little bit top coat hungry with time. In the time that I had this one swatched, I did not notice them behaving that way, but I also did not have this one on for very long. So I think this one is going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on personal preference. For my swatches, I am showing this one in 3 coats for personal wear. I think I would just wear this one in 2 coats because visible nail line was pretty minimal in 2 coats. Removal is not going to be overly difficult, but it will be very messy. Next up, we have Hearts and Promises with Stronger Together. The brand describes this one as a super sparkly, shimmery pink leaning purple holographic polish. This one has no cap. Stronger Together had a fantastic jelly formula. This one does start off pretty sheer, so you'll really want to build it up to get the most opacity. I did find that in 3 coats, I did still have some visible nail line with this polish. I think it'll be a little bit more mild on natural nails than it was like on my like long clear nails. So this polish also has like an almost metallic look in person. Like, there's definitely like holographic and some type of shimmer paired with this polish. It is also incredibly holographic. This one is going to look like blinding in like the sunlight, because just in my studio lighting, I could see just how ridiculously holographic this one is. So I swatched this one in 3 coats plus a glossy top coat. It did dry down a little bit flat, so you will want top coat just to give it a nice glossy finish. Removal will not be overly difficult, but it will be just a little bit on the messy side. Next up, we have Heather's Hues with Think Pink. The brand describes this one as a pink/orange shimmer polish with scattered holographic, a mix of sizes and colors of pink holographic glitters, as well as violet/pink to gold UCC flakes. This polish has no cap. Think Pink had a fantastic formula. This one does start off a little bit sheer, but I found it does build up to reach full opacity. I do think this one is sheer enough in 1 coat that you can definitely use it as a topper. Like, I think this will be a fantastic topper. The shimmer in this polish is very strong. It did not show any brush strokes that I could see in person. I will say that it was as described. However, I was also seeing a hint of green at extreme angles. The level of sparkle that you get from all of the various types of holographic in this polish is unreal. I finished the day swatching this one, and I actually saw it out in the sunlight, and it is like ridiculously holographic, like super, super, super holographic. I will say the base was just slightly on the thicker side, but not unexpectedly so, because this has like a lot of this glitter and flakies. The glitters and flakies in here do not dry down textured. I used 1 coat of glossy top coat, and that seemed to smooth it up perfectly for me. I did have just a tiny bit of visible nail line with this polish, especially on the clear part of my nail. I think in person that's going to be very minimal, especially if you have natural nails. Removal will likely be on the more difficult side if you try to scrub this one off. Next up, we have Hula Moon Nail Lacquer with Fighter. The brand describes this one as a bright pink base that is packed with a purple shimmer and small holographic flakies. It has a cap of 100 bottles. Fighter had a fantastic formula. I had no formula or application issues with this one. The polish base is bright. It is real bright, and the shimmer is super strong, super glowy. This is an all around like very in your face polish. The holographic flakies in here are super tiny, so they do not dry down textured. The polish does dry down a little bit flat, so you will definitely want top coat just to give it a nice glossy finish. I do think if you can get past mattifying holographic flakes, this will look really cool with a matte top coat as well. I found that indoors the holographic was still very hollow and very sparkly for me. I do think out in direct sunlight this is going to be like next level, like hollow in your face. Like, it's a really gorgeous polish. And also, just a heads up from the brand, the caps that swatchers received are going to be different from the caps that customers receive. Customer bottles are going to have a black matte soft touch screw-on cap with no overcap, which I think a lot of people will appreciate because I'm sure I'm not the only one who really does not like overcaps on polishes. So nothing in here is going to dry down textured or be difficult to remove, and no problems with staining. Next up we have Jen & Berries with Stand Up and Face the Enemy. The brand describes this one as a deepened neon pink acrylic base loaded with crystal flakes that shift through copper, red, gold, green, as well as black flakies. It has a cap of 200 bottles. This polish had a fantastic formula. It does start off a little bit sheer, but it does build up really nicely. All of the flakies in here spread out very evenly and easily without giving off any texture. One coat of top coat smoothed this one out perfectly for me. I really feel like the black flakies really just did something extra to this polish that really made me like it quite a bit. I do think this one is going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on nail length and personal preference. Nails shorter than mine will likely be good in 2 coats, but that 3rd coat does deepen the base color as well as adding some opacity. So I swatched this one in 3 coats plus glossy top coat. Nothing is going to be overly difficult to remove. I still would not recommend scrubbing it off though. Next up we have Leesha's Lacquer with Tango Esperanza. The brand describes this one as a neon pink base with black glitters in various shapes, holographic glitter as well as reflective glitter. It has no cap. I apologize if I butchered pronunciation on that one. I thought I could do it, but maybe I couldn't. So really great formula. I was a little surprised that the base did not feel thicker than it did. It didn't feel thin, but it did not feel nearly as thick as I expected it to be once I realized it had like reflective glitters in it. All the glitters in here spread very evenly and easily. They do give the polish a bit of texture, so I did opt to pair this one with a glitter smoothing top coat before going in with my quick dry top coat. That combination did seem to give this one a perfectly smooth finish. This polish is super bright and super neon. It's really gorgeous, and as always, neons are the hardest to photograph accurately. You're about to see in natural light, my secondary camera was just like, nope, on trying to get this one to show bright. But the holographic as well as the reflective glitters were super sparkly in this polish. I do think this one is going to be a solid 3 coater just to cover up your visible nail line. If you search for it, you might see some visible nail line, but I do think you'll really have to search for it in order to see it. Removal will be on the more difficult side. Do not scrub this one off. And now we have LynB Designs with Thanks for the Memories. The brand describes this one as a pale pink shifty base that shifts from a pink to orange to green with linear holographic as well as scattered pink to purple shifting flakies. It has no cap. Thanks for the Memories had a wonderful formula. This one is a very sheer polish. Pretty much almost all of the opacity you're getting is from like the shimmer and the flakies. So you will definitely want to build this one up to get the most opacity, but you will still have some very obvious visible nail line with it after 3 coats. That sheerness, this one will be a fantastic topper. And also thanks to the sheerness, the shimmer in here as well as the holographic is extremely strong. Like this is like a boom in your face, like all the things. The shimmer effect was as described and I did not see any brush strokes. Nothing in here is going to dry down textured or be overly difficult to remove. I do think the flakies will likely stick to your skin a little bit and be a little bit messy on removal, but not like overly difficult. So my photos show Thanks for the Memories in 3 coats plus a glossy top coat. I was also sent a few non-nail polish items, the first being Luna wax melts. These are called Big or Small, Save Them All. So the brand describes the scent description on this one as a green apple essence, amber, cherry, warm vanilla, sandalwood, and light musk. You get 6 little wax melts in here. The total weight on this one is 5.7 ounces. This set of wax melts does have a cap of 110 baggies. For the wax melts, you get 2 different designs. One is, well, it's a boobie. And the other one is a ribbon. Let's see if I can show them. Hopefully I don't get demonetized. Here is the boobie. You also get this one here. I currently have this one going in my wax warmer right now. The scent is very much like, it's very apple-y, and I feel like the cherry gives this just a bit more of like a, like normally my brain tells me like apple fragrances tend to be like fall, like it's fall, but I kind of feel like this one, if I was going to like say whether or not what season I would most likely want this for, I would say it's like summer, fall, like it's in this time period right now. This is what I would say this scent is good for. It smells fantastic. It does not have like the warm spices that I tend to put in with like fall fragrances for like my own personal home. So I do think this one's really fantastic, but like I still feel like the apple is fall enough that like I can melt this one now during the next couple of months and still be like, fall, yes. The scent throw on these is really nice as well. I have had the one in my warmer that's going right now in for almost a week now. And when I have my door open, I do find that the scent kind of flows throughout like my house on the lower floor. So I do like the scent throw on this one quite a bit. And also for those of you who have children who might question why you've got like a boobie in your wax warmer, I do think for the little ones that like they may not even realize that this is a boobie. I asked Wayne what this was and he did not realize it was a boob. He just said circle. So while Wayne is not a little one, he's the closest thing that I got because Stormy can't tell me what she thinks it looks like. And now we have Music City Beauty with Lean On Me. The brand describes this one as a berry pink base with flakies that shift from red to gold to orange to green with silver reflective glitter. This one does have a cap of 150 bottles. Lean On Me had a fantastic formula. The base was a little bit on the thicker side, but not unexpectedly so, since this one does have like a lot of reflective glitter as well as flakies. No application issues. The flakies give this polish a very almost delicate, like iridescent look to the nail, and then like the reflective glitters give it a really pretty sparkle, especially out in the sun, but indoors I was able to see like little twinkles from the reflective glitters. Because of those reflective glitters, I would definitely recommend doubling up on top coat. I used a glitter smoothing top coat before my quick dry top coat, and I also forgot to mention this one does have a couple of larger flakies in it. The flakies do not add to texture, but like I love me some big honkin' flakies on the nails. I was very excited about getting the larger flakies out on the nail. Removal for this one is going to be on the more difficult side. If you scrub it off, I do not recommend removal in that method. Next up, we have Nailed It with Live, Love, Fight. The brand describes this one as a sheer blush base packed with a strong glowy pink to gold shifting shimmer and accented with hollow flakies and a settled scattered holographic. It has a cap of 150 bottles. Live, Love, Fight had a fantastic formula. The base did not feel overly thick or thin and no application issues. The shimmer in here is super strong and super gorgeous. It did have some brush strokes when wet, but the brush strokes do seem to disappear as the polish dries. This one is also very holographic. Like it was showing up as super holographic in my studio lighting, and out in the sunlight, this is going to be like really color. I don't know what word to use. Really holographic. I do think this one's going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on personal preference and your nail length. I did have a little bit of visible nail line on the clear part of my nail, but I don't think that will be an issue for those of you with natural nails. Next up, we have Night Owl Lacquer with Positive Vibes Only. The brand describes this one as being a clear base filled with bronze reflective glitter pigment, rose gold metallic flakes, as well as color shifting chameleon flakes. It has no cap. Positive Vibes Only had a really great formula. I was again surprised that the base did not feel nearly as thick as I thought it would, because this one it's as pure like flakies and glitters. This one does dry down very textured thanks to those reflective glitters, but once again I did find that with 1 coat of glitter smoothing top coat and then 1 coat of my quick dry top coat that seemed to smooth it out perfectly for me. The reflective glitters give this one a lot of sparkle. Like this one is next level sparkly, and I could easily see the bronze colored reflex in person just in natural sunlight, which is what you are seeing here. To reach full opacity, you will definitely want 3 coats for this polish. However, I personally really liked it in just 2 coats, but my swatches do show this one in 3 coats with 2 coats of top coat. Removal will be very difficult. Do not scrub this polish off. Soak it off or peel off base coat. Next up, we have Paradox Polish with Fueled by Pink. The brand describes this one as a pink to mauve trithermal polish with a green shimmer and blue-green flakes as well as gold flakes. This one has no cap. Fueled by Pink had a fantastic formula. The flakies in here are beautiful. Like there's a mixture of medium and larger size flakes in here, and you all know I love large, just big ol' honkin' flakies in my polishes. This one made me very happy. Those flakies do not give this one any texture. As far as the thermal aspect goes on this polish, I was not seeing a tri-thermal in this one. I was only seeing like a pink and like a darker pink shade. I will say that the color differences between the two are a bit more slight. I think this one would be a good thermal for people who are not used to thermal polishes and are kind of hesitant to get thermals because of the fact that they do stop changing colors after some time. I think that the color difference between the two is like more of like a gradient than like a flat out ombre. I really hope I'm using the right words there. That I think this one would be really good for people who are hesitant to get thermals because they don't like that thermals will eventually stop changing colors. Anywho, I think this one's going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your nail length. Nothing in here is going to dry down textured or be overly difficult to remove. The flakies will likely stick to your skin a little bit on removal. Next up we have Poetry Cowgirl with Touch Your Tatas. The brand describes this one as a magenta to gold to green multichrome base with a melon green and rose pink metallic micro glitters. This one has no cap. Touch Your Tatas had a good formula. It was a little bit on the thicker side, but I still found it pretty easy to apply. It does start off very sheer. You will definitely want to build this one up to get the most opacity. I do think it is likely going to be a solid 3 coater. The multichrome paired with the flakes in here, I was really undecided on what I was seeing. I honestly initially thought that the multichrome effect that I was seeing was from one of the like flake components, and then that there was like a pinkish kind of shimmer going on. It's a very complex looking polish, and I was really struggling with trying to decide what I was seeing in person, but like it's also very sparkly from all of the various components. I do think this one is likely going to be a solid 3 coater to reach full opacity, but I also do think that this one will work well as a topper. I did end up pairing this one with a glitter smoothing top coat just because it had so many different like glitters in here that I felt like it would benefit well from a glitter smoothing top coat. I don't think that was 100% necessary though. Removal for this one will be on the more difficult / messy side. Do not scrub this one off. Next up we have Rogue Lacquer with Pink Out. The brand describes this one as a blush crelly base with a red gold color shifting flake as well as metallic rose gold and black flakes. This one has no cap. This polish had a fantastic formula. The flakies in here look absolutely gorgeous. The polish was slightly on the thicker side, but not at all unusually so given this one is like a very dense flaky polish. The flakies all do dry down very flat without any texture. However, I did notice that they are just a little bit top coat hungry, so I would think this one would benefit from pairing it with a glitter smoothing top coat or just doubling up on your quick dry top coat to keep this one nice and glossy. I swatched this one in 2 coats plus 1 coat of glossy top coat, but again, I recommend 2 coats of top coat just to keep it like perfectly smooth and glossy. Next up, we have Sassy Sauce Polish with Cancer. You picked the wrong girl. The brand describes this one as a plum to pink thermal base with a violet blue shimmer. This polish has no cap. This polish had a fantastic formula. The base did not feel overly thick or thin and no application issues. First coat is a little bit uneven, a little bit sheer, but I did find that this built up really nicely in 2 to 3 coats. If you have shorter nails, I think this one will be a solid 2 coater. I will say though that in the warm state, the polish is just a tiny bit more sheer than it is in the cold state, but like I think 2 coats is still passable. For my swatch photos, I did use 3 coats. The shimmer in here is one of those shimmers that where it's both strong and subtle all at the same time. Like under direct lighting, you can definitely see it a lot better. The warm state is a super bright pink and the cold state is like a dark plum color. I will say I do think this one's gonna be a fantastic like transitional shade to get you through like summer to autumn. So nothing in here will dry down textured. You will want top coat just to give this a nice glossy finish and no issues on removal. And the final nail polish item I have is by Zombie Claw Polish, and this one is called a Warrior. The brand describes this one as a cotton candy pink base with blue/purple shimmer, pink and blue flakies, and this one glows in the dark white. It has a cap of 100 bottles. A Warrior had a fantastic formula. Again, the base did not feel overly thick or thin and no application issues. This polish is jam-packed with flakies, but I did still find it very easy to apply. I do think this one might just be a solid 3-coater. I did find that in 2 coats it was still just a little bit sheer, a little bit uneven, and that 3rd coat brought us to full opacity very nicely. The flakies in here are, I think these are the type of flakies that do benefit from a glitter smoothing top coat. I was living on the edge. I went in with 1 coat of top coat. I did not notice the flakies being particularly top coat hungry, but I did not have this one on for super long. So 1 to 2 coats of top coat depending on personal preference. The glow in the dark aspect in here was very strong. I charged it up using a black light flashlight. This polish is going to be very messy to remove. I would not recommend scrubbing it off because those flakes are going to be quite messy, but I don't see removal being overly difficult for this polish. The next non-nail polish item that I was sent is by the Soapy Chef. This is a Himalayan salt face and body soap and it's priced at $11. The ingredients wise, this one has coconut oil, olive oil, shea butter, avocado oil, rice bran oil, castor oil, spring water, sodium hydroxide, fragrance oils, French pink clay, Himalayan pink salt, and titanium dioxide. This soap looks so freaking cool. Like, I could not stop taking macro shots of it because it just looks so cool. If you tuned into my live stream yesterday, you would have heard me talking about how I have a problem when bar soaps look so cool because I struggle to using them. So as you can see here, I have not yet used this one yet. I am planning on using it after this to wash my hands just to see how I think it feels. I know I should have done that before the video. I didn't. Editing Nicole's going to pop up in a second to tell you all what she thinks. So this soap bar this one does have a cap of 80 soaps. I don't know what word I was going to say. This one has a cap of 80 soaps. So the scent for this soap is... So I had a brain fart and I didn't actually say what I thought the fragrance on this was. To my nose, it has a very like sea salt, oceany kind of fresh fragrance. This box goes live this Sunday, the 4th of September at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on the Hearts and Promises Lacquer website, which of course linked down below. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, everything in this box is available individually, and you can also get like a big old box full of everything. For the full box with all the products, that will be $270. For the box with only the nail polishes, that is $235. Each polish is available for $12.50. The wax melts are all $10.50. The Lotion Bar is $8 and soaps are going to be $10 and $11. And there's also a couple of extra like little knickknacks and doodaddy things. I do not yet have pricing on those, but the website should be live any day now. Alright, so if this is your first time watching one of my videos for this box, I do not do favorites because like I feel like everything is going to charity, so there is no need to do any favorite. So there. I love pink polishes. Like all the polishes were absolutely fantastic. Before I got into swatching, I always looked forward to this box. Like this box, I always just really love it. Like as a customer, it makes me very excited. And I'm honestly still like in shock that like I swatched all the polishes in the box. Like it's just wild to me personally. So I would love to know what everyone else thought of this box. Have you ever shopped this box before? Let me know. And also I do want to mention, since this is the 5th one, I do believe as far as sales go, Chrissy is very close to reaching $10,000 in total donations to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. I think the number is like $257 more to donate, and then we'll reach $10,000 total donations for all the years that the box has been going, which is really fantastic. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope everyone just has a wonderful weekend. Happy shopping. And if you are new to my channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. Hit that like button as well, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye. Where did I put the soap? Where did I put the soap? I just had it a little while ago and now it's gone. Where did I put the soap? Where did I put the soap?
Take it